what is going on, guys? This is the SS Ultimate Goku, back with another video, and today we are going to have some breaking news on this free agent football day, and talk about some other breaking news, and that is what's going on in the anime industry, and that is to the fact that we have a new deal in place through Crunchyroll and Adult Swim. As you all know, I think it was either October or November last year, Crunchyroll came into an agreement type deal with Adult Swim, which is what led to Mob being put on the block. And I think that was the first pure Crunchyroll title, correct me if I'm wrong, that was on Adult Swim, that they dubbed themselves. Now, obviously, there was Black Clover, but that's kind of jointly licensed with Funimation, and the dub is more on the Funimation end of this. So, there's that. But Mob was the first one to go on there, and Season 1 was on there, and now we don't know when Season 2 is going to be airing on Adult Swim Toonami, but it will eventually be airing there. And a lot of people have been wondering, well, isn't Mob supposed to be simuldubbed and whatnot, because Season 1 was simuldubbed. Keep in mind, when that was simuldubbed, that was before Adult Swim decided to put Mob on the Toonami block. And I had a theory about this, that there was something going behind the scenes, that Adult Swim and Crunchyroll were working something out because they had this already mutual agreement going on last year once Funimation and Crunchyroll broke up. This is big and significant. When Crunchyroll and Funimation broke up their partnership, Funimation really came out on more of the end because they already had this, partnership going on with Hulu now. That takes in effect now as of January of this year. So Crunchyroll was really scrambling around for content because obviously subs, as you know, cannot really do it anymore for a lot of people, especially now that Crunchyroll is owned by AT&T. There's going to be more focus on dubs being put out. Because of this, Crunchyroll needed a new partner. It was pretty obvious. And it makes absolutely logical sense that they partnered up with Adult Swim and Toonami. Because this is going to do a lot of things for Crunchyroll. This is going to be probably good and bad for the viewers. So let's get into the positive things, because we always want to have some positive lights to how this deal is going to go. So first and foremost, I want to just, before we get into even that, I should just kind of talk about the layouts of the deal, because a lot of people are wondering what this deal is going to exactly be. So Crunchyroll and Adult Swim announced today that Toonami programming partnership with distribution deals. Distributor deals. So distributor deals are basically means that Toonami is going to basically, help adults or help Crunchyroll out, and in exchange, Crunchyroll is going to help Toonami out. So, for example, shows like Fluey Cluey, which were a Toonami production, they commissioned the dub themselves. They did the dub themselves, and they put it out there exclusively on Adult Swim's Toonami. Those 2 seasons will now be able to be aired on Crunchyroll. I'm not sure exactly if the dub will be aired there, but the sub will definitely be aired there. Now, if you are a subtitle fan, this is big for you, because not many people really seen the subtitle version of Fluey Cluey Season 2 or Season 3, because it never aired on television, except for the one episode on April Fool's Day, but we're not going to talk about that, because that was just a 1-week thing. So the subtitle version never really aired on television. The only way you would have been able to see the subtitle version is if you went to Toonami stream, or Adult Swim stream, which really isn't a stream. I mean, it is, but it isn't. It's like a website stream. It's not like an actual stream service like Crunchyroll or Funimation now. It's just basically on their website, and you can just watch it. They still use Flash, by the way, which kind of is weird since Flash service is going to be obsolete in 2020. But yeah, they still use that for some reason. But anyways, so that's really the only way you would have been able to watch the subtitle version of Fluid Flu Season 1 and 2. That would be on Toonami. However, now with this deal, Crunchyroll will probably be getting the subtitle rights for their stream service, so you can watch it there, which is definitely more accessible than Adult Swim's website stream service. So that will definitely benefit them. Also in this announcement of the partnership is that Toonami will have premiere rights, which means Toonami basically has access to Crunchyroll's library of all the titles that they have the license to, basically, where they basically, Jason DeMarco and whoever else is in charge of Toonami can basically be like to Crunchyroll, hey, that title you got, yeah, I'd like to put it on our block. So that's basically what they can do, is they basically are able to take a title, whether it's dubbed or not, and can either commission Crunchyroll to do the dub, or they can do the dub themselves. But Crunchyroll probably will just dub it if it comes down to that. Or if it's already dubbed by Crunchyroll, they can just immediately put it on the block. So that's kind of what is happening here on the end for Adult Swim. They basically have the dub premiere rights. So they are basically going to air the dub before any other stream service was. Not the subtitle version, but the dub version on their television programming. This also explains why Mob Season 2 has been delayed. I had theories about this, and this pretty much confirmed my theory that Mob is being held back because they're waiting to put it on Adult Swim and premiere the dub. Which what I think happened, because Funimation Now actually announced for their winter schedule that Season 2 Mob was going to be on there. I think what happened was, because it originally was simuldubbed for the first season before it went to Toonami, what I think happened is after they made that deal, they were like, well, we already kind of have this going on for Season 1. After Season 1, then we'll, start putting it into effect where we'll just have it, showed first on Adult Swim, and then we'll put it on the streaming services that we're obligated to put it on, like Funimation Now. So it's going to probably be like an Attack on Titan situation, where it's going to air on television, but they have to follow the Toonami schedule. And, so if there's any marathons that holds it back, you're going to have to wait another week for Funimation Now users. So this explains the whole Mob situation, why Mob is still not out there, despite the fact that the sub version is still being simuldubbed. So that explains what's going on with Mob. So again, the good thing about this is that Crunchyroll gets a lot of exposure from this. And what I mean about exposure from this is not many people really know Crunchyroll. Dub watchers, I should say, not really necessarily sub watchers, but dub watchers, people that are just dub watchers like me, don't really care for Crunchyroll because they see it as a subtitle, company. They primarily do subs. They're starting to do more dubs, but they're primarily a sub platform. That is what they were built on. So not many people are aware that are just dub watchers that they're doing dubs. So with this exposure, Toonami can introduce shows to dub watchers from Crunchyroll's titles, which will in turn get a lot of popularity from the shows, which will definitely benefit Crunchyroll because it will make people interested in this show that Crunchyroll is putting out. So that is the benefit for this deal for dub watchers like me or someone that's watching this right now that is just a dub watcher, it will definitely help Crunchyroll better in the long run. The bad thing that could happen out of this deal is that Toonami could get too lazy and rely too much on Crunchyroll's library. And what I mean by that is what they basically have been doing, like, well, I mean, not really so much now. They're kind of a little more variety now. But about a year ago, they were pretty much just relying on Funimation. You know, they were just basically putting Funimation titles out there, you know, all willy-nilly. You know what I'm saying? And that's one of the things that I'm kind of worried about in this deal is that, you know, we're probably going to get a lot more Crunchyroll titles in the near future, and it's probably going to destroy that variety that we get, because Crunchyroll is going to be like, you know, since Crunchyroll and Adult Swim are now partners, Crunchyroll is going to be like, look, we really want to put this show out. Can you put this show out? We want to get this done. You know, Crunchyroll could go up then and be like, look, we want to really get the show out. Like, if there's a show that's doing really good sub, right, you know, they're going to be like, look, let's get the show out there. Now, for example, when they were in a partnership with Funimation, Black Clover did very good on its original sub simuldub run on Crunchyroll. It got a lot of good numbers. Because of that, when Crunchyroll was in an agreement with Funimation, they pushed really hard for Funimation to, you know, make a dub of it. And that's why there's a dub now, of course, into their lesser events, is now that this partnership is broken up, now Crunchyroll has to forever share this license with Funimation because they both have a joint license. Funimation has the streaming dub rights and Crunchyroll has the streaming sub rights, and they both jointly put out the DVDs and Blu-rays with the dub and sub. And they both, I think, get like 50% of both product, or it depends on, I think, which one, because they both sell them in their stores. So I think it just depends on which one sells where, or which one you buy them from. So that's kind of where that all comes into play. So that could be something too that could help out, you know, get a show out there that's doing really good on their streaming service and see if it will do good for a dub audience on Toonami. So that is the benefit of this, but again, it also could be its detriment if they just now start slowly relying on the Crunchyroll library. Also, this could also be a sign that maybe Crunchyroll will put stuff on their stream service that Adult Swim has the rights to, like, for example, Samurai Jack. Maybe we'll see Samurai Jack on Crunchyroll. Maybe that's far-fetched, but, you know, who knows? Maybe you'll see a Robot Chicken. Maybe it won't just be anime that they want to put on there because, I mean, they're kind of, you know, kind of joint. And maybe with this deal, they could possibly be doing more future, you know, Fluey Cluey season, like they want to do another Fluey Cluey season 4. You know, they will have more distribution money with Crunchyroll, or distributor money through Crunchyroll by doing that, and or any other anime projects they want to do in the future. You know, with Japanese companies, this will definitely help Adult Swim because they, again, are more of a channel, not necessarily, what's the word? Than a distributor, you know, person. You know, they basically up to this, basically up to this point, they've been just distributing stuff themselves. Now they actually have someone behind them that can distribute stuff much better than they can. So this is where that kind of, you know, balances the stuff out. So yeah, I think this is a win-win for both Crunchyroll and Toonami, especially with Crunchyroll kind of being in kind of a Luxor thing now that Funimation broke away from it, and Funimation's with Hulu, and a lot of other companies are being, you know, partnered up with Hulu too for distributors, you know, premiere rights and stuff like that. So Crunchyroll's kind of lost in the dust at this point, and with them partnering up with Toonami, that kind of can put out their shows there more than it would have before for dub stuff. So that's where this deal kind of can benefit both parties. Like I said, TV projects would definitely help. So I mean, there's a lot of things that could happen. Crunchyroll is also, like, as we all know, is owned by, like I said, AT&T, which owns Rooster Teeth, Verb. So it kind of makes sense. Well, it makes sense in the sense because technically they're really all owned by the same people. I mean, Cartoon Network essentially and Adult Swim are essentially owned by Time Warner, and AT&T is owned by them anyway. So I mean, it makes sense in the sense because they're technically all of them are owned by one another anyway. So I mean, it's really actually, when you think about it, it's not really much of a surprise. But I mean, this deal will definitely benefit all parties involved. Wouldn't be something if Rooster Teeth decided to put Ruby on from Adult Swim. That'd be kind of weird though, because that's a web show. Yeah. So yeah, overall, I think this is like I said, I think this is a good deal. But I have my worries about it because I don't want this to now. I don't want Crunchyroll to be like the new Funimation of Adult Swim from a couple of years ago, where they just start putting multiple Funimation shows on Toonami and kind of leave Viz, Applix, and all these other dubbing companies. We still haven't seen a Sanbai film in a long time on Adult Swim. Like, I'd like to see some of those shows kind of, some of those new shows get on there too. So yeah, there is a benefit for all of this. My theory was right about Mob. I think this pretty much just confirms my theory about Mob. Why it was taken off the way it was. I think, like I said, I think the original plan for Mob is they were gonna air it simuldub, and then they were gonna start putting it up, again on Adult Swim. When they were ready, but then when this deal came into place, they just decided, let's wait, because we want to put this out there once we announce this deal, where we're gonna have some other titles that are gonna be coming into effect, and that's why I think they waited. Which kind of unfortunate because Funimation kind of were led to believe in different circumstances, but that's exactly what happened. I am curious going forward if Adult Swim would dub still in New York, because they dubbed Fluey Cluey Season 2 and Season 3 in New York. But Crunchyroll does a lot of their stuff in LA, so that's going to be one of the interesting things going forward. But one of the things that also was announced, I should say, is Crunchyroll and Adult Swim announced that in November they are partnering up with some Alcon Entertainment to produce an animated-based series called Blade Runner 2049, and the sequel to the 1982 Blade Runner film. I have no idea what those are. I'm not sure if that's even an anime or not. They said it was a produced animated series based. I don't exactly know what that means. But so that's going to be one of the things they're doing. I'm assuming Crunchyroll will be doing the dub for that, or I don't know exactly who would do the sub, but it'll probably be dubbed first, just like Fluey Cluey was, because they kind of paid for it or whatever. But yeah, they'll share it. Like, Toonami will air the premiere dub rights, and then Crunchyroll will put the sub out. And like I said, it will benefit both people at that point. So yeah, like I said, you guys can read the article. It's pretty much straightforward. And let me know what you guys think about this. Do you think this is a good deal for Adult Swim or Adult Swim Toonami and Crunchyroll, or what do you think about this deal? Let me know what you guys think. Comment, rate. If you like this video, my videos, please subscribe. Also share this video. And that's about it. I am the SS Ultimate Goku, and I'm out of here. Peace!